Hey, what's up, guys? I am RileyChaseFox, and today I have a very special person with me.
Who?
That person is Eirka Harlacher.
Where?
Because, dude, for the longest time, I thought it was Harlacher, and then I saw an interview,
everyone.
and I was like, dude, it is a good thing I watched some of these interviews because I would have felt so dumb if I would have said
research.
Harlacher. I tried.
Everybody
I really
does.
tried.
It's okay. And
Okay.
I don't correct them because I'm like, it's okay.
It's fine.
It's
Have
a
you?
hard last name.
But I should have gotten that right.
You
Okay,
did.
so cool. So today we are doing a one-on-one interview with a very, very influential person, and you haven't even been doing this for that long, and you,
No.
and
I
you,
consider myself new. Very
yeah.
new.
How? Okay, so you probably started when you were super young, though.
I think I got my first professional role when I was 21.
And that was with Omni from Toradora, right?
That was my first like big
role. Okay.
I think my first actual like named role, it was in a video game called Battleship, based on the movie Battleship, which is based on the game Battleship.
Okay.
And nobody knows about it.
I don't.
But I was in
I
it.
feel so bad that I don't.
My
but
friend
Joy
knows
does.
about
But
it,
Joy
yeah.
does, and she's sitting back there. Dang, see, I feel so bad now that I don't know that. All right, the interview's done.
Don't feel
No, I'm
bad.
just kidding.
I rage quit that game because it was too hard.
Oh, we
and
have.
my character was like just telling you what to do the whole time, and I was like screaming at myself because I was like, just shut up. I know I'm
Yes.
supposed to go over there.
I know exactly what you mean when you play a game and then you keep dying and then they repeat that same like interlude before you play that certain part.
Yep.
And you're like, I already know what you say. Like, stop. Why is there not a skip button?
Exactly.
Oh, dude, when there's not a skip button, dude, it's so
like
annoying.
the early days of Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah.
and I memorized all of those scenes. The one on Tarzan and the one with Riku. Those are like my two most memorized scenes. I just couldn't win.
You know, that's so funny that you say that because a lot of people that don't follow you like hardcore,
They might not know.
but the ones that do have at least known that you do have a YouTube channel, and
Yes.
it's we have it with AK Gaming, right?
Yes, with K Games.
With AK Games,
Mm-hmm.
with AK Games, because I looked it up and it's literally all Kingdom Hearts, but it's like not finished.
It's
and
not.
I think like the recent one you uploaded was like,
It's like 2 years ago.
oh my god.
I know. Well, okay. In the videos, I'm like, okay, I will upload this to this channel when I'm not too busy with voiceover. And
Okay.
in the past 2 years, I've been super busy with voiceover. So
And it's gonna take time. Like, I imagine
know.
you're doing it all day,
yes.
and then that's very training a lot,
Yeah.
as it is mentally and
Mhm.
physically. I would say,
Especially when I'm talking all day, I can't come home and play a video game and talk more because I'll
no,
just die.
no,
But-
definitely not.
Yeah, but I want to upload it, and I assume people that watch that channel know of me for voice acting anyway.
Yes.
So I'm like, you should be happy if I'm not uploading because that means I'm making you cool stuff. to
Yeah,
watch
because
or
I
play.
actually looked at the comments, and like some guy put like, if I didn't know that you were an actual voice actor, I probably would have not watched this. And then I've been watching this and not realizing who you are, and I started laughing, and I was like, dude, how do you not know? Okay.
It's me.
It's her. But so you ever gonna finish it or no?
I plan to. Okay, I have every intention to finish it, and so hopefully, like this summer, I'll have a little bit of time. We'll see.
It's just kind of like it's not certain, it's not positive.
It's funny because in the videos, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and everyone always used to ask me, like, are you in Kingdom Hearts 3? Are you in Kingdom Hearts 3? And in all the videos, I'm like, no, and it's okay.
No.
You know, I'm just a fan. Then I ended up in Kingdom Hearts 3. So
Yes,
I'm going to come back and be like, hey, what's up, guys? It's been 2 years. Also, I was in Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of a little bit.
A little bit. So you did
Sorry.
post that on, gosh, what was it? What, Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm, and
yeah.
Instagram. I'm in the game.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I didn't see it on Instagram, but I did see it on Twitter, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I'm just little characters, you know, background characters, but that was perfect because I'm such a fan. I didn't want to know any of the plot.
Yeah.
So it was great because I just came in and recorded background people who know nothing about the plot. And I was like, perfect.
Perfect. And okay, so when you're going into auditions,
Mhm.
I'm assuming they're emailing you, right? And they're just like, hey, we have this project,
Yes.
blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
We want you to audition.
Yeah.
Did they tell you it was for Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yes. Well, no. It used a code name, but I knew what it was.
You knew?
Yeah.
Dang, that's how hardcore?
Well, yeah, because I know from the lines, and I know from, like, the names of things.
Okay.
Yeah, there's certain projects where even if they don't tell us what it is, we're like, we know, though.
We know, but we're under contract, and we don't want to get in trouble, so we're not going to say anything.
Like, when I recorded for Fallout 4, they didn't tell me what that was. And then when I was recording, you know, they were saying things where I was like, I recognize the name of this place or the name of this character. So I was just like, this is Fallout, right? And they were like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's Fallout 4.
Okay, well, I think I should probably start asking the question.
All right, cool. Let's go.
So you already introduced yourself.
Yes.
We pretty much know who you are. So
I would hope so. No.
okay, so notable roles is we have blah, 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 Ami and Toradora.
Yes.
And you said that one was special to you
Yes.
because it was the first big
yes,
role.
it was like the first big anime role.
Okay, and then correct me if I'm wrong on pronouncing it Kurapika in Hunter x Hunter.
Yes,
Okay.
Kurapika. Very close.
Kurapika, okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Watch, people are going to watch this and be like, how dare you pronounce it
Well,
wrong.
people will probably watch and be like, no, he said it right. Well,
Tomato, tomato?
Yeah.
Okay,
in
all right
the show
then.
we said Kurapika, so yeah.
When I watch shows and I've heard them pronounce names, I'm like,
you know, I do what they tell me.
and you can't
And
say
then I'm
anything.
like, that's
yeah,
what they wanted. So.
that's what they wanted.
And
okay.
then that's how I say it forever.
Forever. Forever. Forever. Forever.
You have Yumiko in
Kakagurui.
Kakagurui.
It's okay. I didn't know how to say that title either, even after it came out, because I don't say that in the show.
No, you
So-
say
Get your gambling freak on.
there. There you go. There you go.
So, and I would yell it, but we're in a lobby, so I'm not.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Definitely, we don't want to
I
disrupt.
don't want to be a crazy.
Yes, and then they look at us, and then
gambler.
the employees are like, "What are you guys
Yeah,
doing?"
they're like, please get out. It's a very fancy hotel, and you're
Literally,
not allowed in
yeah.
here anymore.
Yeah, we don't want that, and we don't want to set a bad example. Okay,
Yes.
and then you have my personal favorites.
Oh.
You have Elizabeth in Seven Deadly Sins.
Yes.
Oh
Sir
my
Meliodas.
gosh.
Oh.
And then you have probably, I knew it was going to be huge when I saw it, Violet Evergarden and Violet Evergarden.
Yes.
And they just announced
the
movie. Oh,
I'm
dude.
so excited. 2020.
2020. So did you find that out like immediately?
About the movie or about?
Yes, about the movie.
No, I don't know things until like fans tell me about
Okay.
these things, because the dubbing process is like the very last thing, and they're not even done animating the movie yet.
No, they're
so.
not. Yeah.
But I've known that a movie was like in the works
Mhm.
for a while.
Mhm.
Just they announced it a while ago in Japan, so I was
Mhm.
like, yes, 2020,
You
I
got it.
think.
Yes.
So now we have confirmation, definitely 2020, and it looks beautiful.
Ooh,
I'm so excited.
get it, girl.
I'm so happy people love
Yes.
Violet Evergarden, because
Yes.
I love Violet
Yes.
Evergarden.
It's tough because like I feel like if I watch that show, it's gonna like tug at my heart. So I'm just kind of like, oh, dude,
That's
I don't
an
wanna do
understatement
it.
for sure. Like, I have people like tweeting me all the time as they're watching through, being like, I cried so hard, and then the next episode they're like, I cried even harder.
Oh my
and it's just more and more, and then.
And
yeah.
you got to think, if the fans are just crying off of the show, I can
Uh-huh.
imagine what you guys were feeling when you
Oh.
actually have to dive deep and you're like, okay, I have to feel exactly what Violet's feel. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
and I have like kind of weird sinuses, so I don't like to actually let myself cry. I like to let myself get close,
Mhm.
but then I don't want to sound stuffy for like the rest of the day.
Yes.
So that was extra hard, because I'm feeling all of these like intense, crazy emotions and trying to like hold them in, which I think is kind of an interesting like voice. I don't know how to say it, but it makes
I
your
know what
voice
you
sound
mean.
really interesting when you're
Yes.
holding in sorrow a lot of the times. So I was like, it's okay. This is going to be great. And I'm so glad people like it.
Well, you
'cause
did a
we worked so
wonderful
hard.
job. I've seen some of it, but I knew if I kept going, I was like, I'm going to cry if I watch it, so I can't do it.
Well, someday you should. And then just let yourself cry. Just get a lot of tissues and, some ice cream. Everything will be okay.
The only, okay, now this is the really, really cool part. So, the first voice I ever heard you in was a Salem or Asylum in All Noah Zero.
Yes.
And the cool thing about that is I auditioned right next to Zach Aguilar.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, at
during-
one of the
at the Anime Expo.
Oh my god.
And it's so funny because I was talking to him and then he got casted. And then it's crazy because they had it the next year. I went in and auditioned for Your Lie in April.
Oh my
They
god.
called me back.
That's awesome.
I got strep throat.
Oh,
Contacted
no.
them and was like, hey, I have strep throat. I'll be there for sure. They're like, no, we want you to be here when you're fine. And I was like, okay, when do you guys want to reschedule? They said come in on Monday. So they contacted me on Saturday that weekend and they're like, hey, something came up. We'll reschedule.
No.
That was almost 4 years ago.
I'm so sorry.
No,
to
it's
hear
fine.
that.
No, it's don't even worry about it. Like
No.
nothing like that is gonna stop me. That's why I tell people you have to have a love for
Even
this.
just knowing
passion.
you got the callback is like
Yes.
that should give you so much confidence because
Oh, yeah.
how many people auditioned?
I
at
think there was
that thing?
like thousands. There was dude.
Yeah.
He was filming it. It was
so
like.
you're great. You're gonna get there. Don't even worry.
Thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I love little Zach. I don't think he likes that I call him that, but he was 17 when
Yes,
he got
at that
all
time he
Noah.
was super young.
So, to me, in my mind, he's always like
You're the little
tiny
kid.
Zach, and I love him, and he's like my little brother. And I'm
Yes,
like, I love
yes.
you.
And now that One
he's a
Punch
grown
Man,
up.
yeah, now he's grown up. One Punch Man season 2 is coming out. He's
Yes.
gonna be in there as Genos, so that's super exciting. Really excited for him. That was really, really awesome for him.
He's such a sweet person.
Yes, he
he's
is.
really nice. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
him so much.
Zach's getting a shout out in these
Must
interviews.
protect
Oh my
Zach.
God. So before we take too long on question 1, the obvious question, which everybody asks, and you probably knew this was already going to get asked, what got you into voice acting and how did you get into it?
Yes. So when I was little, I was watching Kim Possible on TV, and Disney Channel used to do a thing where sometimes in between their shows on commercials, they would have like interviews with the cast. And so there was an interview with Christy Carlson Romano, who voiced Kim Possible. And she was like, voice acting's great because I get to go to work in my pajamas. And I was in my pajamas at the time. So I was like, great, I want to never change out of these pajamas. I'm going to do that. And my mom walked in and I was like, Mom, I'm going to be a voice actor. And she was like, that's not a real job. And I was like,
little
oh,
did you
okay.
know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I once I started actually doing voice acting, I was like, do you remember that? And she was like, I know, I can't believe it. It's so funny. It is a real job.
Oh
and
my
she's
gosh,
so
she has
supportive.
no idea.
She's so proud of me.
That's
and,
good.
You know,
I think
at the
any
time-
mom would.
Yeah, and at the time, it wasn't really like a job that people knew about back then. So I was like, how do you even get into that? And Christy Carlson Romano was famous, so it's like not like.
You have even Stevens.
Yeah, exactly.
So Shia
So
LaBeouf.
I was just like, okay, whatever. I'll be a veterinarian then.
No, and you were like, no, this is what I want to do. And
Yeah.
it's so great that you landed it because so many people love you.
It just kind of kept calling me back, and I accidentally wound up in a voiceover class when I was in my first year of college. And then the teacher, Tony Oliver, he was like, hey, you have some talent in this. You should think about actually doing it. And I was like, oh, I can actually do it? Okay. Switched my major to acting and never looked back.
That's good.
Yeah.
And when was the first audition that you got?
My first audition was probably when I was 20, and I was working at Bang Zoom in the production department at that point, because I wasn't positive if maybe I wanted to do production. I just wanted to do something involved in creating.
Yes.
Because I love cartoons, I love video games, I love anime, and I just wanted to be involved in the process. And you know, acting's unsteady and it's hard to break into, and I was like, I just want to be involved. But they knew that I was an acting major and was interested in it, so sometimes the casting director, you know, she knew I was training with Tony, and she would sometimes have me do Walla sessions, which are like group sessions where we're like in the crowd in the background, like, oh my god, I didn't do my homework. And eventually she started sending me some auditions, and I would audition. I didn't get them at first because I was not ready when I first started auditioning. And then eventually I got one, which was the Battleship game.
That is so
And I
awesome.
was like, oh my god, I booked something. Wow, it's amazing.
And I can just imagine, like, just when you get it, you're just like, this is everything that I've worked for, and I'm finally getting something. So inside the anime world, which show that you voiced in has the most cult following that you've noticed?
I think Persona 5, but that's a game.
Yeah.
Do you want to show?
No, that's fine. If it's a
All
game,
right.
then yeah.
Persona 5 has the most amazing fan base ever. I love them so much, and they are all fiercely loyal to Persona 5.
Oh, I bet so.
And
That game
I'm-
is super popular.
Yeah, it's so popular, and you know, there's a good reason, because it's a great game with
Yeah.
an amazing story and amazing characters, and I love all the other cast members so much. They're so talented, and it all just came together really,
It really did.
amazingly well, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it. And yeah, I just every day I'm like, I can't believe I got to be a part of something so incredible.
Tell them who you voice.
I voice Ann in Persona 5, so yes, aka Anne. We say Ann.
You say, well, that's good.
Yes.
Now, I haven't personally played the game, but a lot of my friends do. They actually said, well, one of my really, really good friends was playing it, and I remember he was at my house playing it one time, and he said that it was in the run for being Game of the Year, but I think that was the same year that Mario Odyssey won it.
It was Breath of the Wild.
It was
I
Breath
think.
of the
Yeah,
Wild.
which I
Okay.
was like, well,
I get so confused. I don't play video games anymore. Don't beat me up.
yeah, no, it's okay. Nintendo is what-
Nintendo.
Yeah,
But
going against the Nintendo giants.
so that was 2016, 15?
I forget. 17 maybe.
It's so crazy how like
Yeah.
something so like not that far back ago, like we just like I can't even remember what I ate this morning. You
Yeah.
expect me to
I
remember
know.
that?
Persona 5 is in the Guinness Book of World Records, though,
There you-
for like the most sold JRPG, I think.
And JRPG is
Japanese role-playing game. Yeah, and it's really cool. It's in.
I'm learning
it's
so
in it.
much in this interview.
Yeah. So I love Persona 5, and even for the American art book, they put our names in them, which is unheard of for like the.
So
dubbed
your name is
version.
in the Guinness.
Yeah. Well, not in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay,
It's in
I
the
was gonna
American
say.
art book. which
Okay,
is
but that's
like
even still
so
really
cool.
awesome.
They noticed me.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you grew up in California.
Yes.
And you're in the county of Ventura, right?
That's where I grew up.
That's where you grew up. So
Mhm.
is that also the city, or is that just the county too?
I was in the county. I went to school in Thousand Oaks.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know where that is.
Yes.
Okay, is there anything specific or special about that town that you can maybe tell to somebody? Hey, this is where I'm from. This is why I love it. This is what it's about.
It was a pretty small town. We were like down the grade, and when I was growing up, the grade is it's a part of the freeway. And we were in a very agricultural area.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now it's become so popular because the weather around there is absolutely amazing.
So it's just always sunny.
yeah,
all the time.
and never too hot, never quite as hot as the rest of
Yes.
LA County.
Oh.
So now everybody lives there. But back then, for instance, my house had like a huge backyard that was like 3 different levels, and then across from us was an orchard, and all the dogs on the street just kind of roamed around the orchard all day and then came home. It was a very like agriculturally area in a very small town, and everybody kind of knew everybody, and it was really nice and really cool. Now it's like so crowded. When I go there, I'm like, oh man, everybody moved in.
Yeah. So I'm assuming, so when you grew up, it was very small, and then boom.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
But it's still a great place to live. I still love it.
Do you get homesick?
Not really. I only live an hour away, so I can.
Okay,
I can
that's
go
not even
there
that far
whenever.
away.
No.
I thought you were living like 2-3 hours away,
Nah,
because I wasn't
no.
sure how deep into LA. But okay,
No, my sister moved up to San Francisco, so she's far away, but I'm still right there.
okay. Which show do you feel is the most underrated that you voiced in, or video game?
Underrated. Yuki Yuna is a hero. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not heard that one. Tell us
because
a little
it's
bit about it.
underrated. That's why you haven't heard
That's
of it.
probably why.
Okay. Have you heard of Madoka Magica?
Yes.
It's very similar to that, but a little more hopeful.
Okay. Okay, so it's got more of a brighter tone. It's more happier, or no?
The overall tone is pretty dark still,
Okay,
but
okay.
it's not quite as hopeless.
No,
as
that
Madoka.
one's Madoka. That one's darker tone.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
No, no, no.
Mhm.
But the other one that you were
Yeah.
saying that you.
Yeah, it's still dark, but a little more hopeful, and it's so beautiful. And I play a character, Togo, and she's in a wheelchair, and they all end up becoming heroes.
Okay.
And so she starts the show being like, I can't be a hero because I can't walk.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually she has to protect her friend, and it just comes out of her, and she's able to transform into this amazing like sharpshooter hero, and it's so cool. It's such a good show.
I think Tony actually uses that at one of his panels.
Probably, because it's great.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, he had that at a panel in Anime Expo, I think last year.
Yeah.
And they had some girls come up and they were doing the voice. It was really cool. Yes, I can see what you mean. Yes, very underrated.
And I've had people come up to me saying that they relate so much with her struggle. And I'm like, I'm so sad that more people don't know about this show. And it had a second season, and my character was then the main character in the second season, but it wasn't popular enough, so we didn't dub the second season, and I'm so eternally sad about it. Maybe someday, everyone watch it, and then
watch it,
that we should
and
dub
buy
it.
the DVD and buy everything to support it, because people don't understand. It is still a business.
It's a gorgeous show.
Yes.
It's beautiful. The artwork is amazing, and the characters are so cute and sweet, and I love it. So everybody watch it.
Have you seen it, Joy?
No, Joy hasn't seen most of the things I'm in.
Juan? No, oh my gosh.
See, it's underrated.
Underrated,
Nobody
and you
knows.
got okay. So you guys got to go and watch the show.
People do bring it to my autograph sessions though for me to sign, so I know that there are fans.
Yes, there
and
are.
They are fierce.
Okay.
We are small, but we are fierce.
And it will continue to grow. Everyone,
Yes.
go watch it now.
It's so
if
good.
you have not.
And
okay.
it's very short, so it's an easy watch. It's
12
like 12
episodes?
episodes. Yeah.
Okay, that's super quick. You knock that out in like a day and a half.
Yeah.
So, you're in a very popular movie that just came out.
I am.
Super popular. Some of you may know this, and I think the title might throw some people off, but
Definitely will.
it is for a reason. So it's I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, and you star as?
I'm Sakura, which is the main girl. And it's such a beautiful movie, and I know the title is weird. When I first got the audition, I was like, what is this? Like a zombie scary thriller movie?
I thought
or
the same
something?
thing.
Yeah, and then I read the audition material, and I was like, oh, this is like very heartwarming and not at all what I thought it was going to be. Very sad. And it's beautiful. And after you watch the movie, like after we got through the recording the whole thing, I was like, oh, there's a reason they didn't change the title to something else, because it is that it has to be that title.
Yes.
So don't let that throw you, because it's an amazing, beautiful, wonderful film, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it.
Yes, it's a great movie.
I'm so glad that people like it, and I had people today at my autographs bringing me stuff to sign for it, and I was so happy. I had people mention it in my panel today, and I was like, thank you. I'm so happy people saw it. I love it.
It really is. And the process of that, how long did it take you guys to actually record the full thing?
It wasn't too long. Maybe like a month.
A month? Oh,
which
wow.
is a lot longer than usual for a movie.
Okay.
However, it's a very talky movie with really just me and then the male main character played by Robbie Damon.
Yep.
It's really just mostly us talking the whole time. So for us, we took longer to record because we had more lines. And Eirka Mendes was directing, and it was her very first time directing. She was amazing. She took such good care of it, and it came out really, really well.
Really well.
So I was so nervous. I went to see it in theaters, and my fiance was like, I've never seen you nervous like this before. And I was like, I don't know, it's on the big screen, and like, what if I ruined everything? And that was one of the only times I've been really nervous.
Okay.
And then I felt like it came out really well. I was really happy with the end product.
Did you get to a point where you were just like, because it can get pretty emotional.
Yes.
Did it get to a point where you're like, I gotta stop, I need to take a break, I can't do this, it's too hard?
Not really, because my character
Because you're so good.
Optimistic the whole time. Well, thank you. But my character's, the whole thing about her is the premise of the movie, which this is not a spoiler because it's the premise of the movie, is my character is dying of pancreatic disease. But her outlook on life is so positive, and like she just wants to get the most she can out of life, and she meets this guy who's like has no friends, and he doesn't live life to the fullest. And she's like, you should do that. You gotta, come on, live with me, you know, time's limited. So her lines, she has a few moments where she kind of lets it show that it is getting to her. But for the most part, it was important to keep that optimistic attitude. So I didn't really get to any point where I was like, I need to stop. Robbie had the really emotional stuff in that movie. And he's amazing. When I found out he was cast, I was like, perfect, great. He's the best. Amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it's a really great cast. Really awesome cast. And I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy this movie. It's a great movie. Love it. Phenomenal. Moving on to the next question. As anime has spread amongst the U.S. and other parts of the world, I feel like it's only a matter of time before anime really does start becoming way more mainstream.
Oh, yeah.
Way more mainstream in the United States. You have professional athletes that are watching it right now, and you have professional actors that actually know about it, especially with the new Cowboy Bebop movie that's coming out. John Cho is going to play Spike. I can't remember the last name. And then you had the Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson. And then you had the Netflix live version of Death Note that had Nat. It was Nat Wolf.
Yes,
I can't,
Nat Wolf.
From
Naked Brothers Man.
There you go. There you go. And I feel like
from
it's
the past.
Yes, really feel like it's going to be a part where it's just like it's so mainstream, anybody knows who it is. So the reason why I bring that up, do you find it harder to? Let me make sure that's on the same exact question. Yes. Do you find it harder to please professional actors when they're watching a show, or do you find it harder to please hardcore dedicated anime fans? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely the hardcore anime fans are super super intense. And I'm definitely, there are times when I'm recording and in the back of my mind I'm like, I really hope that they like this and they don't get mad. You know, sometimes a director tells me to say something one way and I'm like, I think they're gonna get mad at me.
But it's okay.
You know? But yeah, and I feel like we all care a lot about what we're putting into the projects.
Yes, you guys do.
And with Netflix doing so much anime now, which is so accessible to everybody. Because when I first started, even just, you know, when I started 7 years ago, I would tell people that I was doing this stuff, and they'd be like, where can I watch it? And I'd be like, well, you'd have to buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And if they're not anime fans, they're not going to spend, you know, $60 on a
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray. So now that it's on Netflix, I'm like, oh yeah, you can watch this if you want to see what I do. And more people have been in there, and sometimes they're like, that was pretty cool.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
And now you have more, and then you have, it's on Hulu.
Yes,
and then it's on, I mean, you can get animation or anime apps like High Dive. It's like $5-6 a month. You got Funimation, $5-6, and then Crunchyroll started doing dubs recently, which you could check out. The Shield Hero, The Rising of the Shield Hero, which I'm watching right now, and Eirka Mendez is in it.
One of the other Eirikas.
Yes, one of the Eirikas. There's Eirka Lindbeck, Eirka Harlacher, and then Eirka Mendez. Alexis was like, they need to form like a band and called like the Eirikas.
I met someone recently who was like, we should do a detective show where it's like Harlacher, Lindbeck, Mendez. And I was like, cool, put it together. I'm down.
I'm down. Let's do it. And we called it Detective Eirikas.
Detective Eirikas. Yeah. The 3 Eirika detectives.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead. I would totally watch that show too.
Thank you. I would too.
I'm just saying that to make her feel nice, to make her feel good. But I don't know how true this is, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But to my understanding, you played in one of Little Karibo's Abridged series.
Yes.
As, what was it? Let me remember. Rebecca Hawkins.
Yes,
oh
Rebecca.
My gosh.
Hello, Copernicus! I sure love living in the middle of the desert with my stuffy old grandpa who spends all his time reading books. Maybe one day I'll know what it's like to have an actual friend! I wonder what important research my grandpa's doing today.
Eureka! This proves my theory. Magnifying glasses make stuff look bigger. Now here's that copy of Giant Gazonga's Monthly.
Life couldn't be more peaceful.
How did that come about?
Well, I am friends with Martin.
Oh, yeah!
Okay,
little
he's a
Karibo.
great guy. Super down to earth.
Yeah, I love him so much. I was a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged when I was in college. You know, I've been watching it basically since it started because I was a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay.
And I missed the original series because, you know, it went off the air. It ended. It had a great ending, but I missed it. And the Abridged series was super cute and funny, and it's easy to watch. It's short.
I think it's so funny that girls say cute, and then the guys are like, it was super dope. It was cool. It was funny.
But it is cute. And so, yeah, I'd been a huge fan, and then I happened to meet Martin and become friends with him. And that was cool. I was like, cool, I'm friends with little Karibo. He's great. This is awesome. And I like watching all his stuff. And then he asked me if I was at his house one time, and I think I was like playing with his dog.
Okay.
And he mentioned, he was like, you used a voice when you were talking to my dog that I think would be really great for Rebecca. And I was like, okay, cool.
Let's do it.
I'd be happy to, because I love Rebecca and I love the series, and yeah, super fun.
And he pulled you up and he's like, come on, we're going to go record it right now.
Yeah, he was like, let's do it.
Okay.
And, it's super easy because it's very short scripts.
And he's still, I still feel personally that little Karibo Martin is so clever in the way he writes his stuff.
He
like
is.
you have, I mean, he started a whole movement. Everybody does a bridge series now, and there's a lot of people that come out of it, a bridge series, and work professionally.
Yeah.
You, for an example, him, and then you got Team 4-Star. Oh my gosh, everyone knows who they are. They're doing voice work now, so it's really cool and it's really great. But it's like, I think at the time people were like so hesitant because of copyright, and then everyone's getting taken down, and then we're like, well, I don't know, how can a professional come out of an abridged series? But technology has changed so much.
Yeah.
So Adventures in Voice Acting, we've took it with Tony Oliver. I've taken the classes, you've taken the classes.
Yes.
You've obviously come out of it professionally. I'm still trying. I'll get there one day,
You're
hopefully.
very close. Yeah.
All right.
It's going to happen.
Then I don't think we really need to talk too much about it. But if you guys do want to look it up, there will be a link to it down in the description box down below. We'll talk a little bit more about it down there. But if you want to start working professionally, now these classes won't guarantee that you're going to land a role, but they definitely are going to teach you how to act, how to prepare yourself, how to get ready for an audition, how to get yourself out of the head. These classes are absolutely recommended, and working professionals for years take these kind of classes because it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, and Tony is my director on a ton of projects, great to like work with him and know how to work with him, and then he'll know you. So then if you do end up landing that role and he's the director, you'll feel so much more comfortable with your teacher
and Tony's like a dad.
He's so nice.
Such a dad
he's
dude.
He's like my mentor for sure.
Yeah.
And
that's amazing. I love him so much because he really gives that, like, because sometimes it's really hard to work with different people just based on their attitude and where they're trying to go. But the great thing about Tony is, yes, we're still you guys are still professional, so it's like, hey, we got to get the job done. But when you know what you're doing and you really take that time and you're really getting it done, it could be so much relaxing, and especially when you have Tony as a director, because he's so amazing. Everybody loves him.
Really
no one
great.
Ever has anything bad to say about Tony.
He's so wonderful and amazing. I love him.
He is. So you just said it like a few minutes ago, but you announced on your Twitter that you're engaged. So did you cry?
My fiance is actually really mad that I didn't cry, because I was just too overwhelmed with like happiness that it like jammed everything. So then when I was like calling my parents like a few minutes later, I was like tearing up. But when he was actually proposing, he like got down on one knee, and I said, "What are you doing?"
Where were you guys at?
We were in our house that we bought together. And so the original plan was that he was gonna come when I was done with the session, and he was going to propose around the corner, because we met at a studio, and we always used to exchange cars kind of like around the corner. And the plan, I thought, was that after my session we were gonna go to lunch. So he was gonna like text me and be like, "Oh, I was moving my car, can you like come around the corner?" And then he was gonna have everything set up apparently, and with all these roses and music or something, I don't know. And I finished my session super quick. Because I'm great. No, it's because sometimes they'll tell you like a bigger block of time than what you're actually gonna take. Especially if it's like a union project, then they have to give you that amount. Like, they have to book you for 4 hours. So they'll tell me 4 hours. And then I was really done in like 1.5. So I texted him and I was like, I'm done. And then I went into his office and he wasn't there. And his assistant was like freaking out because she knew the plan, but she didn't realize that I was like done early, and she was just like staring at me like a deer in headlights. And he was like, oh, I had to take a meeting somewhere else. We'll get dinner instead. And he's like panicking at home. So then I drive home, and I got there, and he was like ringing our front doorbell. But I can't like hear that in the entryway. I came in through the garage.
Oh.
And then so I didn't like know he was there for a while.
So it just really did not go his way at all.
And my dog was like barking, and I was like, what's wrong? Why are you barking so much? And I finally realized someone was at the door, and then I opened it, and then he had like 6 bouquets of flowers, and he like shoved them all at me, and I like got down on one knee, and I was like, what's happening? What are you doing? And then he asked me to marry him. And then I was like, do you have to go back to work? And he was like, no, I took today off.
That's so awesome. I think a lot of people don't realize how much of a blessing that really is.
It was so perfect. I loved everything about it, even though I ruined his plans. I think it was perfect. I love that it was in the house that we own together. And our dog that we owned together was there this way. He wouldn't have been there. He was very loud and distracting, but yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that you guys have. So now that you're big time, you're traveling a lot, correct?
Yeah, pretty often, especially in like the summer months, because that's when a lot of conventions are.
Okay. Now, when you're not traveling, when you're not recording, when you're not doing anything at all, what is a normal day for Eirika Harlacher when you're at home? What do you do besides playing video games?
Oh, man. Well, I'm trying to write a novel.
Okay.
So I'm trying to use all of my free time.
Release it so I can buy it.
Writing. Yeah, I'm trying. But it's like a young adult fantasy adventure novel, which it turns out is hard because I have to create all these societies from scratch, and I'm on like draft 4, and I feel like I'm gonna need like at least 4 more drafts after this to kind of get it all figured out.
Writing a book is not easy.
No, so not easy, but it's fun. I love writing, and I've always loved writing. That was kind of like something I considered doing earlier in life. It's like being a writer. And yeah, I hopefully will be able to finish it.
You will, and when you do, I'll be the first one to buy it. And if someone buys it before me, I'm going to be very mad. I'm just kidding. No,
I'll tell you. I'll be like, it's coming out. It's going on sale right now.
Right now. Yeah. Post it. Boom. Do it on your Twitter, and I'll be the first one to get it. Specifically, send me a direct message.
And then you'll be like, oh, this sucks.
No, I won't. No, I'm not. I won't. I promise.
Hopefully.
I just won't say it.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Good. Just don't tell me. That's fine. You can think it to yourself.
Okay, no worries. No, I wouldn't, and I'm pretty sure it will be amazing.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So that's really all my free time is that. And sometimes I'm recording so much, I'm just so tired that I don't even have time for that at the end of the day. But
and I bet you don't even have time to even just sit, watch TV, eat. It's just you're so drained.
Yeah, my fiance and I try to spend, at least a couple hours a day just like together after work. And so, yeah, this is sometimes not a lot of time to write, but I'm trying slowly to get it done.
This is the life of a voice actor, people. So
it's very busy.
If you want to do it, consider those things. That is what is involved in it. That's behind the scenes.
It's very busy, and also a lot of times I don't know what I'm doing the next day until like 7 p.m. the night before.
Oh wow.
So you just gotta be ready to do anything.
So be prepared.
And to drive all over the place, because I don't work at one specific place. I work all over.
All over. So that is the interview right there. I am very thankful that you took the time to be out here with us.
Of course, thank you so much.
That meant so much to us. You have no idea. She is a sweetheart. She is amazing, and so is her handler, Joy. They're both fantastic. Yes, Joy is a joy. So definitely, if you guys haven't, go ahead and follow Eirika Harlacher on Twitter, Instagram.
Yes.
Any other places that you have? You do have your website too, correct?
I have a website, erikalynnharlacher.com.
Okay.
I had to change it from Eirika Harlacher because some stupid mean person sniped it up after it expired, and I didn't realize. So add the middle name in there. It's great.
Okay.
Cool. It's more professional sounding anyway.
Yes, it is. That actually does sound very professional.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, Twitter and Instagram, and if you want to watch my old videos on that YouTube, you can. I'll update it maybe someday eventually.
And if it's okay with you, I'll put those links in the description down to where you could check her out, and you can check her out on Twitter and Instagram as well. Eirka, to finish it off, tell the people what you're doing and what they should be doing right now.
I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm talking into a microphone and into a camera, and you should be looking at the screen and watching me do those things.
We
How's
love
that?
you guys so very much. I don't know why you guys watch my videos, but you do, and for that, I appreciate it. We love you guys so much. I love you guys so much.
Thank you so much for
Until
watching.
the next time.